Alright, it's Christmas time. I better put this away, otherwise James will he'll want to kiss me. Hey, welcome everybody to NoBS Photo Success TV. It is December early, hence the lights.
Hence the Christmas edition.
Yeah, well, you might call it the whole month we'll have our festive edition.
Our festive edition?
Yeah, it's Festival.
Festival? Happy
Festive
Festival Day. All right.
So yeah, look, I'm blocking you because I'm in front of the light. There we go.
I got my own light source here. I am doing, what would you, this would be called, if under, the light source underneath was spook lighting?
Yeah, this is called,
no, this is angelic lighting.
This is James's light in the headlight. Go forward a bit so we get some light on it. There, see, we gotta get that, there you go. I'll come back here, and then we'll go 3D. So I gotta ask
you, do like gear?
I gotta ask you about your coat. What are you doing with your coat on?
Hey, this is a coat that I picked up at Jury's while we were in Nashville Inferno.
Cool.
And yeah, this jacket is for photographers.
I recognize the logo.
Made by.
There's a logo on it.
Manfrotto. So you know what? Some nice little features on this. First of all, it keeps you warm. It keeps you dry.
Does it take good pictures?
It does. And when you show up on a wedding looking like this, right? People, they just say, "Ooh, this guy's got to be good."
He's got to be good.
Or they
look
say,
at that coat.
Or they say he's not right in the head. But you know what? This jacket's awesome, man. It's got big pockets and they're lined to put your lenses in. And in here, I took it out, but in here was actually a card holder.
You can put your weed in there.
Yes, you can. Actually, I have a receipt.
You put your receipts in there.
But yeah, nice jacket. And what I've done, of course, you know, like all my jackets, I went and had
logo.
I went and had a logo put on it and all that. But
okay, hold on. What does that logo say? Let me check. Miningindustrialphotographer.com.
That's right.
That's what you are.
I am. That is what I am.
You are that.
This is how I show up on a shoot.
Yeah, you get fired right away.
Yeah, no way. Hey, look, more lights. Hey. But anyways, yeah, this Manfrotto jacket's awesome. Rainproof, sweatproof. It's winterproof, and man, I just loved it. So when I went into Jury's and I saw it, they took care of me there. I said, "Holy crap!" I was looking for a winter jacket, and I need a winter jacket. So hold on, I want to see actually how I look here. Wow, this is kind of, these things are getting a little hot here. You know what I hate? I hate when these things fall down and they stab you. Oh, that's actually hurt.
Yeah, you better be careful.
So yeah, I got that in the Inferno, and that's my little tech talk. You know, my
nice jacket. Nice logo.
And
nice
what's
jacket.
nice about it too is I don't have it here, but the pocket zipper opens up to a bigger pocket, and there's actually an insert that goes in there, and you can put all your little doodads and stuff.
Oh, James, I got to ask you a question.
You asked me a question.
This is very spontaneous, unscripted.
Unscripted.
I saw a link on Facebook to an article at a mining magazine that highlighted you. I don't know if you knew that. Michael Schmidt from Discovery Star. You didn't know?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That was Mining Supply News, I believe.
Mining Supply News. Ooh, you know, you made it big.
You're on Mining Supply News. Yes, yes, I had. And actually, what's kind of cool is it's not confirmed, but I just talked to a guy today for Sick Kids Hospital.
Right.
This guy, and I'll talk about this, the links and all. But anyways, he makes mining shirts, hoodies, and jackets, and it's got mining images on the front and back, very, very, very nicely.
Mining images.
Images, nice designs. But he doesn't have anything underground, so he actually emailed me and asked if he could use some of my images or buy some of them. I'm just giving it to him for free.
Can you guys hear that cat?
Yeah.
There's a cat next door. Sorry about that.
That's why I had him go meow, meow. It's just habit from home.
Sorry,
my cat.
Carry on.
So anyways, I'm going to have some of my images on these shirts and hoodies that will be sold to raise money for sick kids.
That's pretty cool. That's good.
So I'll talk about that the next Friday. I just talked to him today. Yeah. I called him up, said, "Got your email." I said, "I'm not even going to charge you. You can have whatever you want for a good cause."
That was pretty cool. He got this entire article in this major trade magazine in the industry that he's after. So it was pretty good publicity.
Yeah, it's
Kudos to you.
So hey, you know what? I missed the last show. So
last what?
The last NoBsTeeVee episode.
Yeah,
you did
solo job.
So you know what? We should talk about the Inferno.
Well, yeah. Let's let me talk about Tech Talk first, if you don't.
Tech Talk. All right. I'll just go fix my hair. There we go. Go for it. You're on.
Your hair looks funny. Let me get some scissors. Now hold on.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but the reason I brought the lights were because I've been using these lights in my studio, and we've got this thread going in the forum. I posted a couple of baby pictures, and I also just yesterday shot a family, and I used these lights. Now, somebody asked or mentioned about, you know, sort of implying that it could have been dangerous, and here's the thing. When I saw this idea, it was Danny Rabela from California who posted this in the forum 2 weeks ago. Don't check out. And I thought, oh, that's a great shot. So I swiped the file, grabbed some lights. I swiped the idea. Yeah, I took the file, printed it, and called it my own.
There you go.
I entered it in print competition.
Creative theft.
So, but anyways, yeah, no, the idea, swiping files, there's a lot of stuff around here. I'm getting all clumsy here. And I said, I got to use this on a baby. So my next session was like 2-3 days later, and I saw the client coming in. I went, oh, she's perfect. This client that was coming in, I knew she was going to go for it. So I showed her the lights. I said, here's my idea. Without any hesitation, she said, yeah, well, let's go for it. So you know what? Let me show you right now through the magic of editing. Editing. Watch this. Okay, we're back.
Oh. Blew my mind. That was crazy. That was crazy good.
So, so the little baby with all the lights and that, and they loved it. And so I did it again on Saturday. And yesterday I had this family come in, and I said, you guys, because this family came in, like he's like the president of the university, and she's a principal. And I always thought, I told her this, I said, you know, when you first they came in like 3 years ago the first time, and I said, when you first came in, I thought you were going to be all like traditional. But I was really surprised a couple of years ago. You really hear that, right? I said, I was really surprised a couple of years ago when you came in and you said, Rob, I want something really different. So I started doing these real funny, funky poses. And so this year was a perfect segue to use the lights. And you know what? They ordered their print today. They're going to get hundreds of cards made with the
that's awesome.
with the lights. And oh, you want to see that picture? Here we go. Watch. Magic of editing. There we go.
It still amazes me every time we manage to do something like that.
Ain't that
Like
right?
we zoom to the studio and then we just run right back.
Okay, so I got to talk about how I came up with the exposure.
Okay.
I winged it. So I looked at it and went, okay, let's try ISO 1000 2.8 at 200 of a second. And I went and got my flashlight. Okay, and I needed a little extra light, so I had the dad from the first baby shoot hold the light and kind of illuminate the baby, because I didn't want this light to contaminate and ruin these lights. And you know, it worked. It worked. It was good.
Flashlight.
Flashlight, just kicked in a little extra light. I set the camera on tungsten, 1000 ISO, 2.8, 200 of a second, 70 to 200 lens. Did a shot, checked out the image, chimped it.
So you can do that? You can just shoot like with
This,
no flash or strobes, just
Yeah.
whatever the light is.
No flash, no
And
strobe.
change the white balance to whatever it is.
Yeah,
You can do that?
You can do all that. Didn't you know that? That's cool.
That's insane.
Or you could shoot raw and do it later.
Oh.
Or get it right in camera. But,
Or you didn't just go there. Or you just
no, we're not going to go there.
Oh, you
Next month we'll go there, in 2 weeks from now. But anyway, so yeah, it worked. Awesome. Yeah, it was cool. Really cool. Oh, I'm done.
Hey, big shout out to Allison Burke.
Baby.
Way to pop that one out of there. Good for you. We knew you could do it, man.
She's officially given birth to the, would you consider that an official NoBS Photo Success baby, or the second one ever? Or?
Oh no,
There's been many, right?
It's not a part of NoBS.
Oh, you got it.
An
Okay.
official NoBS baby would be like two couples meeting at a NoBS Inferno.
That's right.
Getting it on that night. And then once they were having a baby, that's the official NoBS baby.
Congratulations, Allison. We're proud of you. Awesome stuff. We're not going to go there. I might get in trouble.
You sure it's better to do these things later at night than in the morning? Oh, okay. All right, so let's talk about Inferno.
All right.
Are you done your tech talk?
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done? All right.
So yeah, I'm going to keep these on.
Okay, these are getting too hot, and I
They are getting hot.
play with them too much.
So yeah, the Inferno. I talked about it in the last NoBS episode a little bit, but
I
we're
didn't
just
watch it because you were by
You
yourself,
didn't?
and it's just not interesting when I'm not in it. So
yeah, sorry. But
hey,
anyway,
Inferno kicked ass.
it was awesome.
That was a freaking kick
Awesome.
butt Inferno.
In case you're wondering what we're talking about, it's a 3-day event we had in Nashville, November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Speakers every day. You, me. What's that guy's name?
Dan, Brian Demented.
Travis.
Travis Gadsby.
Travis Gadsby.
That guy's crazy too.
Brian Dement. Barbara Yance
Yeah.
came in from Kentucky.
Yeah, we had Randy.
Randy gave a presentation and Bill Guy gave a presentation on Photoshop. 3 days and nights of solid presentations. Absolutely.
Sean gave that
amazing.
presentation on drinking one night.
Well, that was late.
It was good. You know what? It's always, you know, I don't go to many photography conventions anymore except for
The Inferno.
And
Well,
every time I go, you learn something.
okay, here's the thing. How many Infernos did you go to this year?
I went to one.
Oh,
Two. No, I went to two. Sorry,
Two.
spring. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
We had
right.
one in the spring.
That's
That's right. Two.
there. You
So two.
passed the quiz.
I did.
You almost failed. So what? That's 6 days.
Yeah.
Okay. How many webinars have you been in?
Have I attended and watched?
Or presented, hosted, and just hung out in?
Lots.
I mean, how many? I mean,
Lots.
you said you don't go to many workshops, but
Yeah, well,
is that true?
Well, just because I don't go to workshop doesn't mean I don't get my influx of,
There's lots there, right?
you know. Yeah, I guess so. I get my emails and all that. But it's just like, you know, I'm not going to like PPOC, or I don't go to WPPI and stuff like that. I've just been going to the Inferno. And it always amazes me, this Inferno. I mean, let's admit, like, it's cheaper than the big guys, and but we always have these dynamic speakers, and it doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and we always end up with a good turnout, and it's just, and the information just, it blows you away. And the best thing you learn is when you're sitting around having food in your mouth, or you're drinking something, and somebody says something so wonderfully insane in photography that it all comes out your nose, and you realize that's the best tidbit of it. I took away so many little points that I've already implemented.
It's great.
So actually, and it's all in. You've already started uploading stuff into the forum, right? So for those of you that are watching this, you can actually
Videotape the whole event. Day one, I've already uploaded his presentation because he went up first, and I just started rendering Brian's. Brian DeMint was the second speaker. Now, Brian DeMint is one of the most creative, funny photographers I've ever seen.
Brian Demented.
Absolutely stunning. We've seen him last April, but every time it's just like it's twice I've seen him. Guy just blows.
You know what?
His work is.
The thing about him is you could watch, say in 1 month, go watch him 20 times, 20 different times.
Yep.
He'll do something 20.
Yeah, he's like that. He's like that. He's like totally zen-like. He's like, yeah, whatever. Just pick up whatever's around, and he'll come up with a work of art. Because
see, you'd be like, oh yeah, the Christmas lights. Oh Rob, you did that, you know, in a little baby. Listen, I want you to shove these up your nose and in your ears.
You do something totally
and we're gonna stick these all down your back like they're stuck in your spine.
Like a spinal cord.
And I'm gonna make it look like an angel. And
it's amazing.
It's amazing how that guy does.
And his light source is like from Walmart, $4.99.
Somehow he can take just this here. Take this. Okay, you stand there naked, but we're not really going to show anything. We're going to stick this into your hair, and I'm going to make it look like you're riding an elephant. That's how good he is. That's the stuff that guy does.
It's magical.
Yeah. When you can take a cardboard box,
create a backdrop out of it.
You know you've made it.
So Brian, I learned cool things from Brian because of how he is able to apply creativity and simplicity.
Yeah.
And that Zen-like approach. So.
All the speakers are good.
Now, you talked on mining, which is really, like, people came up to me and went, you know, I'm probably never going to shoot any mining or industrial work in my whole life.
Good.
But they said this to me. They said, I really got a lot out of James's talk, even though he talked.
But my talk wasn't about mining. It was about the knowledge I used in marketing and photography to promote and build my mining business. So yeah, I could have applied to anybody.
That's right. So if anybody thinks it doesn't, it
so
does.
if you think it's just about mining, it's not. It's subliminal.
It goes from here to here.
I've added some subliminal stuff in there. So when you're watching it and you have to go for a Diet Coke right away,
you're gonna miss it.
That's me. I did that. I put that in there.
Or you're gonna miss it because you went for a Diet Coke.
Exactly.
So anyways, who else spoke Friday night, first night? So you, Brian, and then it was Bill Guy. Photoshop 101, he did 2.5 hour presentation.
Yeah, I learned a few cool things from that.
Bill is a funny guy, very personable, very outgoing, one of the friendliest guys I've ever met. Now he used to be a photographer, he had to get a knee operation, so he had to quit photography. Well, he's old, he's an old guy. He's an old, decrepit man.
We're gonna have to put him down soon.
Take him out and pastor and shoot him, just,
sorry.
Sorry, Bill, you're past your prime, way past your prime. No, we certainly loved having Bill there, and it was the first time I ever met him, because he's been in the forum since when?
Since the beginning.
Since the beginning of, since
the
dinosaurs were around.
Time. Then we had Dan and Freibold.
So next day was Dan Freibold. Did he speak in the morning? No, I did. I was awesome. We were awesome. I'm hyperventilating. It was so awesome. No, I had a good time speaking about marketing, and I talk about the stuff I've been doing in the studio.
It was, marketing's not important when it comes to running a business. So.
Well, it's got nothing to do with making money.
I know. I don't understand that.
So, but my talk is I call it Bright Ideas. It's stuff I've been doing the last 6 months to 12 months in my studio. So it's all based on real
worldly stuff.
Say that slow. Worldly. If you speed that up, it'll sound right. Anyways, so yeah, who spoke in the afternoon?
Dan?
No, his goatee did.
His goatee. He had this goatee, and
he's got a goatee that goes from here.
It's like, all right, guys, I'm
it goes to here. When he first showed up, I said, Dan, I saw your goatee before I saw you.
He's like the guy from the movie. If you see the movie with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, the bass player that has a goatee that goes in the wind. It talks.
He was good though.
He was awesome.
The guy was
awesome. The guy does amazing work. Amazing work. He had some awesome marketing ideas and branding ideas, like
Facebook, social
media. Even his studio, even his little. I don't know if you saw his bathroom. He's got signs for the men and women, and they're like this, like all awkward. He's like, I just have to be different.
I gotta pee.
I have to be different. So, anyways, yeah,
he's very creative too.
Yeah, he's awesome.
So he does a lot of senior photography in his poses and the way he blends the poses with the locations, with the texture screens. You can tell he's got a lot of graphic design.
And composites. That's really cool.
Composites. So anyways, I think he's kind of like the new generation of senior shooters. And it's good to have guys like that coming in.
Yes.
Guys like him and Ben Shirk. You know Ben Shirk?
No.
Who, by the way,
but he will be.
Next Inferno, he's already in the books.
So it is written.
It is written in the books.
Is he related to Sean Sharp, the UFC fighter?
Yeah, ask him.
I'll have to ask him.
How about you and me right now? No. So let's talk about Saturday night. Let's close.
I always would like to try jiu-jitsu, but you always say I want that rear naked choke thing.
It's not going to happen.
You think it's done with no clothes or something.
So, but anyways, yeah. Saturday night we had Randy who talked about sports photography. He does the college football and pro football.
A couple of Sports Illustrated images in there.
Sports Illustrated.
I fell asleep the whole time he was speaking.
He's got a lens.
His mouth, and I'm like.
His lens is this big.
He's compensating.
It's like this huge fast lens, and
he
shared that part of his world with us. It was really cool.
I like the way he uses his the GoPro cameras and everything, time lapse stuff and all that. And
you had to be there.
Some of his individual shots, he's doing the baseball bat with the freaking water balloons and just
freezes.
Yeah, it's kick butt. Awesome. See how that can apply to doing senior photography.
And we had Sunday morning. We had Barbara Jans come in and share her photography studio, her marketing, and techniques. And then Sunday afternoon we had Brian Gadsby. Travis Gadsby from Silver Lake Photo. The only bummer about having him there was
his wife wasn't there.
His wife wasn't there. Paula, we missed you.
That's okay. The fan kept Travis company.
Yeah. Travis was an amazing speaker. Now I got to explain to you and everyone else. So you probably know this. I don't know, but I didn't know Travis was that skilled as a photographer.
I thought he was a backdrop guy.
I thought he was a backdrop guy. He's more than a backdrop guy, it turns out.
The guy can actually shoot.
He had an amazingly busy, successful photography studio doing mostly seniors. And he was on tour with Sandy Puch. He did 43 cities on Sandy's tour, and I saw a lot of his work.
That was awesome.
On Facebook and whatnot. I was just like, wow.
So now you definitely from Silver Lake, you definitely get backdrops for photographers.
Yes.
Made by photographers.
And he's a good speaker too.
Yeah, that was very good. Very good. I was impressed.
It's kind of weird looking, but
I guess his wife's into that type of thing.
I'm joking. You're not weird looking.
But you know what? We had a lot of fun. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with him. Learned a lot.
Okay, big shout out to his model before we close this off.
Jennifer.
What did she do?
She did a kick-ass job.
She came in naked.
Oh wait, sorry, no, that was
in your dreams.
That was later, sorry.
Travis took her outside into the pool, and it was freezing cold, and
I didn't even want to get in there, and we're from Ontario.
We set up a backdrop in the pool, and a bunch of people brought their cameras, and they were shooting, and he demonstrated one of the lighting techniques, and I think he had one of those lights, just like what I had.
These super guns. Super gun.
Yeah, so he was using that as a light source, and had her in the pool, which was like near freezing. And it was an absolute amazing experience. Apart from the stuff he taught in the classroom, he brought us out and we did all this. So you having fun?
Yeah, I was just going to see
where
you can get that lens flare. Oh, look, there it is. Filter render lens flare. It's right there. You see that?
we gotta go.
Anyways.
It's getting way, way late. Oh, here.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Don't touch me.
There. Merry Christmas, everybody. Well, we'll see you in a few weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, we'll do one before Christmas. We'll have some
And,
eggnog.
yeah, we're gonna
Hold
have
on,
some,
wait, before you do that. Hold on,
we're gonna have some Santa hats.
Wait. Before you take that off, I want to see if I can get something here. And if it doesn't work, you can edit it. But I want to see something. Hold on, folks. Meow. Come on, kitty. Meow. Yeah. Meow.